Hey everyone, welcome back to Code with Clarity. I am Prerna, your inspiration to learn Java. This is Core Java Series 1 Deep Dive. In today's lesson, we are going to understand one of the most important foundation of a Java programming, variables and data types. In this video, you will learn what exactly is a variable, why do we need variables in programming, then we will understand what data types are, and I will explore the different types of data types available in Java. So you will get know how to actually write variables in Java code, and will create first Java program using variables. So by the end of this lesson, you won't just understand theory, you will be able to write real Java code confidently. So let's get started. Now let's understand what exactly is a variable. In simple words, a variable is a container that stores data. वेरिएबल एक कंटेनर होता है जो कोई भी डेटा स्टोर करके रखता है. You can imagine a variable like a box. Inside that box, we store some information, but every variable must have three important things: name, value, and data type. Okay. So now let's understand this with a simple example. Look at this line of a code. Int age is equal to 25. मैंने कैसे रीड किया है इसको? int age is equal to 25. int यहाँ पे डेटा टाइप है. age is the name of the variable. 25 is the value stored inside it. अब 25 एक नंबर है तो इसलिए मैंने डेटा टाइप लिया है integer. So if I compare it with a box, the label on the box is the name. The item inside the box is the value, and the type of item we are allowed to store that is decided by the data type. Very simple. Now the big question, why do we need variable? Variable हमें actually क्यों चाहिए Java में? So first reason है to store data in memory. Okay. Whenever we create a variable, Java stores that value inside the computer's memory. So variable helps us save information while the programming is running. अभी हमने एग्जाम्पल देखा था int age is equal to 25. तो age वेरिएबल है तो 25 वैल्यू हमें स्टोर करके रखना है, तो हम वो स्टोर करने के लिए वेरिएबल वहां पे यूज कर रहे हैं. सेकेंड, वी कैन रीयूज वैल्यूज. Instead of writing the same value again and again, we store it once in a variable and use it whenever we need it. Okay, so this makes our code cleaner and smarter. और third reason है variables make programs dynamic. अब dynamic मतलब क्या? अभी age है आज 25, tomorrow it can be a 30, so we just change the value, not the entire program. We can reinitialize the value of that variable, and here is an important tip to remember. So without variables, programs would be a fixed and useless. Let's go with the data type. What is a data type? A data type tells Java three important things. Java को data type three important things की info देता है. First है what type of a data you are storing. Second, how much memory is needed to store that data. And third is how that data can be used in the program. For example, if you are storing numbers, that's one type of a data. If you are storing text like a name, that's another type. If you are storing true or false values, then that is also a different type. As you can see in the image, we can store numbers, text, or the true or false values, and each of these needs a specific data type. Now, here is something very important, that is Java is strongly typed. इसका क्या मतलब है? Java is strongly typed. Very important. This means Java needs to know what type of a data you are storing before the program runs. जावा को पता होना चाहिए कि आप कौन सा डेटा टाइप स्टोर कर रहे हो. Let's talk about the types of data types available in Java. In Java, data types are mainly divided into two categories. The first category is called primitive data types. Primitive data types are the basic building blocks of a Java. They are simple, predefined by Java and store single value. Primitive data types जो है वो Java में पहले ही डिफाइन किया हुआ है जो सिंगल वैल्यू स्टोर करते हैं. जैसे कि let's understand the most important primitive types is first is the integer. So int is used to store whole numbers. For example, 10, 25 minus 5, like that. So second is a float. It is used to store decimal numbers, but with less precision. Means 0.5, 0.10 something, but it has a limit. Then double. It is also used to store decimal numbers like 10.5, 100.0 something, but it gives more precision than float. मतलब उसका रेंज ज्यादा होता है float के कंपैरिजन में. Fourth आता है char, that means a character. It is used to store a single character. For example, A, B या फिर कोई भी स्पेशल कैरेक्टर है $, जो हम सिंगल कोट्स में स्टोर करते हैं एज अ char वैल्यू. फिफ्थ आता है boolean. It is used to store only two values, true or false. These are called primitive because they are simple and directly stored actual values in memory. मतलब उसका कोई रेफरेंस नहीं होता है जो वैल्यू हम लिख. Now let's understand the second category of a data type in Java. These are called non-primitive data types. Unlike primitive, non-primitive data types do not store simple values directly. Instead, they store references to more complex data. मतलब वो like int is equal to 25 as it is value store नहीं करते हैं, वो reference value store करते हैं. जैसे कि string, arrays, classes, objects are non-primitive. It is used to store text. String का यूज होता है टेक्स्ट स्टोर करने के लिए. नेम या फिर सेंटेंसेस को हम स्ट्रिंग में स्टोर करते हैं. सेकेंड है एरेज. एरेज आर यूज टू स्टोर मल्टीपल वैल्यूज ऑफ द सेम टाइप इन अ सिंगल वेरिएबल, लाइक अ कलेक्शन ऑफ marks of a list of numbers. Third is a classes. A class is a blueprint or a template used to create objects. We already seen that. It defines properties and behavior. Class contains the properties and behavior. That means the data fields and the methods to use that data fields. And fourth is objects. Objects are real instances created from classes. They represent real world entities. Objects like person. That is a reference data type. As you can see in the hierarchy image, data types are divided into primitive and non-primitive. And under non-primitive, we have string, arrays, classes, and objects. The important difference to remember is primitive types store actual values. Non-primitive type stores references to memory locations. Don't worry if this sounds slightly complex right now. We will understand classes and objects deeply in upcoming lessons. Primitive data types with real example in Java code. Look at the first example. Int age is equal to 21. Here int is the data type, age is the variable name, and 21 is the value stored in it. Since 21 is a whole number, we use integer. Now, the second example, double price is equal to 99.99. Here we are storing a decimal number. That's why we are using double, because it supports decimal values with good precision. That means it gives range. Next is char grade is equal to a. यहाँ पे grade store किया है, marks का grade है. So here char is used to store a single character. Okay. Notice that the character is written inside single quote. And finally, boolean if java fun is equal to true. अब यहाँ पे if java fun इज इक्वल टू ट्रू, ये बुलियन वैल्यू, ये ट्रू या फॉल्स रिटर्न करता है. तो बुलियन स्टोर्स ओनली टू पॉसिबल वैल्यू, ट्रू और false. Here we are storing true, which means yes, Java is a fun. So from this example, you can clearly see the structure of writing a variable is data type variable name is equal to value. Syntax ध्यान में रखो. First example of a non-primitive data type in Java. Look at this line. String name is equal to code with clarity, semicolon. Here string is the data type, name is the variable name, and code with clarity is the value stored inside it. Now notice something important. Unlike primitive types like int or double, string is a non-primitive data type. Why? Because string does not store simple raw values directly like a numbers. Instead, it stores a reference to an object that contains the next. In simple words, when we create a string, Java creates an object in memory to store that text. जब हम string create करते हैं तो Java एक object create करता है. मतलब हमने variable जो भी लिया है string का, उसमें वो हम assign करते हैं, लेकिन Java एक separately object create करता है जिसमें वो string का value store करता है. Also notice that text values are written inside double quotes. Okay, single quotes are used for Now let's combine everything and look at a small complete Java program using variables. First we define a class demo. Every Java program must be inside a class. Then we write the main method, public static void main string args. This is the starting point of every Java program execution begins from here. Okay. Now inside the main method we create variables. जो मेन मेथड हमने लिखी है पब्लिक स्टैटिक वॉइड में, इस पे हम सेपरेट सेशन कंडक्ट करने वाले हैं. ओके, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. नाउ इनसाइड द मेन मेथड वी क्रिएट वेरिएबल्स. फर्स्ट int age is equal to 20. Here we are creating a variable named age and storing the value 20 inside it. Second, string name is equal to Java learning. हमने दो डेटा टाइप्स यहाँ पे दिखाए प्रोग्राम में. एक इंटीजर है जो कि प्रिमिटिव है और स्ट्रिंग non-primitive. Here we are creating a string variable to store text. Now, how do we display these values? We use System.out.println age. ये यूज होता है प्रिंट करने के लिए. जो भी वेरिएबल हमने लिखा है वो हम प्रिंट करते हैं कंसोल पे. So, and System.out.println नेम प्रिंट करेगा. So when we run this program, the output will be 20 Java learner. Alright, let's quickly revise everything we learned today. First, variable means a container used to store data. Second, data type defines what type of data we are storing and how much memory is required. Then we discussed two main categories of data types in Java. First category, primitive data types. These include int, float, char and boolean. Primitive types directly store actual values in memory. Second category है non-primitive data types. These include string, array and object. Non-primitive types do not store the value directly. Instead, they store a reference to a memory location. So remember this golden difference. Primitive stores values, non-primitive stores reference. Reference क्या है वो आपको धीरे-धीरे ध्यान में आ जाएगा. If you understand this difference clearly, you have built a strong foundation in Java. Okay. And that's it for today's lesson on variables and data types in Java. I hope now you are clearly understand what a variable is, why data types are important, and the difference between primitive and non-primitive data types. This topic is the foundation of a Java programming, so make sure you practice writing small programs on your own. If you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more deep and simple Java tutorials. In the next lesson, we will continue building our Java foundation step by step. Thank you for watching. Keep learning, keep coding.